Science for first and second term. Today we have a new episode about the science for third prep, but we have today a general review about all the previous lessons, as we have lesson 1, lesson 2 and lesson 3 in unit 1. We have some types of questions as give reason for, as what happens when, scientific term, complete, choose, and so on. So I hope you concentrate your mind in this episode to know how can we answer every or each type of questions, and we have to recognize the key of the answer from the question and how can we identify the answer according to each type from these questions. Let's go to start our episode today with the first question. We have lesson 1. Lesson 1, chemical reactions and types of chemical reactions. Lesson 2, talking about the speed of chemical reactions. And lesson 3, talking about the mixtures, then the types of solution according to the chemical solution as acids, alkalis, and salts. So let's go to start with the first type of questions as we have in this episode. Let's go to start. We have here question: in supersaturated solution more solid can be dissolved in solvent. بيقول ايه؟ in supersaturated solution. In supersaturated solution. Here we have to talk about what? Supersaturated solution. Say what? Say more what? More solute can be dissolved in solvent. So we have here more solute can be dissolved in solvent. How can we answer this type of question? So here we have to answer according to supersaturated solution. Why? So أقول because. ولا هنا اهو نكتبها مع بعض. Because what? By increasing temperature. لما temperature increase, the speed of reaction increase, أو the intermolecular space between the solvent molecules increase, so more solute can be dissolved in solvent. أقول له because. هنا الأنسر نكتبها اهو. Because when temperature increase or increases, the intermolecular space or spaces between solvent molecule or molecules increase. So here we can know why more solute can be dissolved in solvent by increasing temperature. هقول له طبعا because what here. Because قلت له when temperature increase. بتكلم على what temperature. When temperature increase, okay, the intermolecular spaces between solvent molecule or molecules increase. So here we answer what? Here we answer because more solvent can be dissolved in what? More solute can be dissolved in solvent, as we talk about supersaturated solution. Next question, dear students, we have here complete. Folic acid, and we know folic acid exists in vegetables, leaves, ورق الخضار, vegetables, leaves. Helps in what? We know the importance of what here. We talk about the folic acid as exists in the vegetables, leaves. We have to know the importance. So helps in what? In growth. Yes, helps in growth. Question number 2. tomato, guava, and orange as ascorbic acid. We have ascorbic acid and we have citric acid. But here we know ascorbic acid is what, or vitamin what? So we know ascorbic acid is vitamin C. Vitamin what? Vitamin C. So we know now ascorbic acid is, we talk about ascorbic acid, and we know ascorbic acid is vitamin C, and vitamin C is what used as against cold أو against flu, مضاد للبرد. Okay. Sulfuric acid, as we have here to know the uses of sulfuric acid, and we know the chemical formula of sulfuric acid is what? Chemical formula of sulfuric acid is what? H2SO4. The uses of sulfuric acid in fibers, industry, in what? In car batteries, بطاريات العربيات. يبقى we have uses of sulfuric acid اللي هو اسمه طبعا بيسموه مية نار. Okay, as in fibers, in car batteries, and use in other industries, like for example here as طبعا هنا fibers مقصود بها الألياف يعني عشان نبقى فاهمين معناها, and use in some industries as we have for example glass industries. Okay, here we have indirect question. عندنا سؤال غير مباشر بيكلم على ايه؟ بيقول لي most metal sulfates undergo thermal decomposition reaction. Okay, to give what and what. So we have only one example about metal sulfate in thermal decomposition reaction. As we talk about what sulfate, we talk about copper sulfate, and the copper sulfate has a blue color. Copper sulfate decompose by heating and gives what? By heating gives what? Gives black copper oxide and sulfur trioxide. Yes. So how can we answer this question? We talk about metal sulfate, not copper sulfate. So we answer generally like the question in form question comes in form of general question. يعني سؤال ما بيكلمنيش على copper sulfate, but we talk about metal sulfate. So we answer what? Give what? Metal oxide. مش هو قال copper oxide؟ أقول له أنا metal oxide and what? And sulfur trioxide. Sulfur what? Trioxide. So we talk about here بيقول لي metal sulfate. We know we have what? We have copper sulfate. So copper sulfate produce copper oxide, and we say here metal oxide and what? And sulfur trioxide. So we write here sulfur trioxide. Okay, next question, dear students. The chemical activity series is the arrangement of the metallic or metallic elements in what order according to their what? We talk here, dear students, about chemical activity series. So we talk about the definition of chemical activity series as we have it is the arrange of metals in descending order. In what order again? In descending order. يبقى هقول له هنا descending. According to their, yes, we talk about chemical activity. So according to their chemical activity. So we have what? We have the definition of the chemical activity series as the arranging of metals in descending order. In what? In descending order according to their chemical activity. Next question, dear students. Next question is what? As you see, complete. Chemical reaction as the first definition in this syllabus. أول سؤال في المنهج عندنا. We talk about the chemical reaction. Chemical reaction is the what, or the process in which bonds in reactants are what, and bonds in what are formed. We have the two sides of chemical reaction as we studied before in first prep. خدنا في أولى إعدادي. Chemical reaction is breaking down the bonds in reactants and form new bonds between the products. يبقى هنا هقول له the bonds in reactants are broken. اتكسرت. Are what? Are broken. يبقى هقول له the bonds in reactants are broken. اتكسرت. And bonds in what are formed. We have the other side are formed. هقول له the bonds in what? In products or resultants. النتيجة. Products are formed. Okay. يبقى in which bond in reactants are broken and bonds in products are formed. Number 4. Oxidation and reduction are what two processes? Are what two processes? Here we can complete and recognize or act with this question as give reason at the same time. How come? We can say oxidation and reduction are two, yes, concurrent process. Why? We know what is meant by concurrent. يعني ايه concurrent? Concurrent, which means yes, takes place at the same time. يعني if we have this question as a give reason for, ask me, give reason for oxidation and reduction are two concurrent process. أقول له because أهو they happen or take place at the same time. After we complete number 4, we act with this question as give reason for why oxidation and reduction are two concurrent process. كلمة concurrent معناها متلازمتين. يعني just we translate they happen at the same time. بيحصلوا في نفس التوقيت. Okay. Next question here. Complete or choose. Yes, choose. Here we have, as we see, process that involves the splitting of compounds into simpler compounds by the effect of heat. By the effect of what? Here, by the effect of heat. Is called what? I think we can answer. Involves the splitting. يعني انفصال أو breaking down, splitting of compounds in the reactants into simpler compounds. As we have to answer here this question as what? Yes, dear students, we have to answer. This answer is what? As thermal decomposition reaction. So we can answer the first question as yes, thermal decomposition reaction, because thermal decomposition reaction, which means splitting of the compound into simpler compound or breaking down of compounds by heating into simpler compounds. عرفت منين؟ عشان هو قال لي by the effect of heat. Okay. Next question is number 3. The blue color of copper sulfate disappears and what is formed by heating? The blue color of copper sulfate. We have copper sulfate and we know how can we answer this equation here. We have blue copper sulfate and we know copper sulfate CuSO4 and its color is blue. By heating decompose into what and what, and we know decompose into copper oxide blue and copper oxide black and sulfur trioxide. As we have here copper oxide, its color is what? Yes, its color is black. Copper oxide. Okay, so we have what? Number 1, black PPT, red color, and number C is what? Is yellow color. Yellow PPT. PPT اختصار لكلمة precipitate أو راسب. And we know this expression. So we will use what? We answer according to, yes dear students, we use, as you see here, black PPT because we talk about what? Because we talk about here about, yes, copper oxide. يبقى أنا هختار أني واحدة فيهم، أقول له black precipitate. The first choose or the first choice in this question, as we use what? Black PPT because we answer the equation according to copper oxide, and the copper oxide its color is black. لونه أسود طبعا. But the color of copper sulfate is blue. Okay. Next question. يلا بينا. The following elements can be أو can replace hydrogen. Can replace what? Hydrogen. يعني more active than hydrogen. In diluted acid. Except what element? The following elements can replace, which means more active, in dilute acid. Except what element? Magnesium, zinc, copper, and or sodium. We have and we have here except خلي بالنا كلهم all can replace hydrogen except one of them. So we remember here, dear students, chemical activity series. We remember chemical activity series. Chemical activity series. Okay, dear students, we have a phone caller here. Yes. الو.
الو، السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
معلش كنت عايز بس اسال سؤالين جبريزة.
اتفضل.
اول سؤال don't put silver nitrate in can made of zinc.
السؤال بيقول don't put.
Yes,
don't put اكتبه انا. don't put
silver.
give reason صح؟
Yes.
don't put what؟ كمل.
nitrate.
nitrate.
Yes.
لا ممكن تقرا السؤال كويس عشان كده نايتريت مفيش حاجة اسمها نايتريت. ممكن تقول السؤال كله على بعضه من أول؟
don't put silver
yes
nitrate
silver nitrate. اوكي ها
in can made
of yes zinc. Okay.
Number 2.
You have another question. Yes. Number 2. Calcium oxides is used yes
in
civil works.
خلاص كده.
Okay. What's your name? اسمك ايه؟
بشوي.
Okay بشوي. follow us and we answer these questions. Okay, we have two give reasons here from Bishoy, and question number one is don't put silver nitrate in can made of zinc. This question is related to the previous one. This question is related to the previous one. ليه علاقة بالسؤال اللي احنا لسه بنجاوبه دلوقتي. The following elements can replace hydrogen in diluted acid except. يبقى we should remember تمام ال chemical activity series according to we have طبعا as we have K Na Ba barium, calcium, Mg Al aluminium, zinc تمام، iron Sn اللي هو التن اللي هو القصدير، lead تمام، copper ايه H اللي هو الهيدروجين سوري هنا تمام، Hg Ag تمام، Au. فهنا we should remember الكيميكال اكتيفيتي سيريز. فهو هنا في الكويستشن بيقول لي ايه اهو، question كان بيقول لي ايه don't put silver nitrate in can made of zinc. silver nitrate we have Ag zinc اهو Zn plus AgNO3. zinc is more active than what than silver. zinc is more active اهو، فين الزنك اهو، more active than what silver، اقوى منه. فما ينفعش احط silver nitrate ان كان في اناء يعني made of zinc. zinc اهو اهو وادي السيلفر اهو، يبقى اقوى منه ولا مش اقوى؟ اقول له اقوى. اوكي، يبقى هقول له الانسر هنا، اقول له because zinc is more active than what than silver in chemical activity series. Question number 2. Calcium oxide is used in civil works. كلمة civil which means يعني buildings. أقول له يبقى what is related to calcium oxide؟ أقول له because calcium oxide is used in cement اللي هو الأسمنت cement industry. I hope Bishoy can understand these two questions as give reason for. The number one on zinc more active than silver in chemical activity series, and question number 2 is calcium oxide is used in civil works. Okay, let's go, dear students, to complete our episode today with these questions, and I hope any student have any problem or any misunderstand in any question can call us in phone at the screen. Okay, let's go to complete these questions. So here we have and choose as we all these elements can replace hydrogen except. يبقى كلهم can replace hydrogen except one element less active than hydrogen in chemical activity series. Okay, which one from these elements? We know according to the chemical activity series. Now on the monitor please. هقول له هنا اهوت all these elements. طبعا هنا الهيدروجين مكانه فين؟ أقول له الهيدروجين هنا صح؟ اوكي؟ الهيدروجين اهو. يبقى الكبر can't. Hg which means mercury can't. Ag silver can't. Au gold can't. كل دول ما يقدروش replace what? Replace الهيدروجين because all are less active than what? Than hydrogen. So الكويستشن هنا فينه اهو، هقول له except what؟ magnesium, zinc, copper, sodium. اقول له طبعا except مين؟ except copper because copper less active than what? Than hydrogen in chemical activity series. So all the following elements can replace hydrogen except what? Except Cu which means copper. and these questions are the questions of Bishoy. Okay, here we have the scientific term. As you see here, the first question is question number 1. يلا بينا نجاوبه مع بعض. بيقول ايه؟ A process of splitting compounds into simpler compounds by the effect of heat. A process of splitting compounds into simpler compounds by the effect of heat. But what? Here we talk about by the effect of heat. So we talk about what? We talk about thermal decomposition reaction. Thermal decomposition reaction. Okay, next question is the arrangement of metallic elements in طبعا according to decreasing chemical activity. Again, the arrangement of metallic elements according to decreasing chemical activity, which means what? Decreasing chemical activity in descending order. In what order? In descending order. So we talk about what here? We talk about chemical, yes, activity, series. chemical activity series. يبقى طبعا a process أول واحد أهو we will answer again the two questions of what here, as we have splitting compounds into simpler by effect of heat. By effect of heat on thermal decomposition reaction. And the next question is the arrangement of metallic elements according to decreasing chemical activity series. We have another phone caller here. Hello.
الو مساء الخير.
مساء النور.
استاذ محمد.
ايوه.
لو سمحت لسه كنت عايزه بس اسال سؤالين. انا معايا بنوته بس هي في التوقيت ده بصراحه بتبقى في النادي يعني.
تمام مفيش مشكله.
هو في give reason for.
give reason for yes.
ايوه. اول واحد aluminium react slower.
aluminium react slower than zinc
with hydraulic hydrochloric تمام.
acid yes.
also aluminium تمام.
acid although
aluminium is active than zinc.
Is active than zinc
in chemical activity series. في نمبر 2 كمان بعد اذن حضرتك.
question تاني. اوكي ثانية واحدة.
formation on
question 2 اوكي. formation
on black تمام.
on ولا off black؟ طب حضرتك ممكن تقولي السؤال كله على بعضه اسمعه بس؟
formation of او on يعني مش واضحه بصراحه. black substance of heating green copper carbonate.
formation of black
substance.
black what? black substance okay.
of heating green copper.
on heating
green copper تمام. كربونات.
كربونات. اوكي
تمام. بس ميرسي جدا لحضرتك يا مستر.
لا
شكرا.
تحت امرك تحت
ميرسي يا
امرك.
فندم. شكرا.
Thank
مع
you
السلامة.
thank you.
مع السلامة.
We have two questions here as question number one is aluminium. Aluminium هو بيتكلم على فكرة برضو related to the chemical activity series. Aluminium reacts slower than zinc with what? With hydrochloric acid. How come? At the same time we know aluminium is more active than zinc in chemical activity series. يبقى how come ازاي الالومنيوم يبقى slower أبطأ في reaction than zinc ها with hydrochloric acid. how come؟ واحد يقول لي ازاي صحيح الالومنيوم ياخد وقت اطول يعني react slower than zinc with hydrochloric acid although aluminium is more active than zinc in chemical activity series. how come؟ لو بص هنا مع بعض هقول له اهو عندي الكيميكال اكتيفيتي سيريز هكتبها يعني فور مثلا fourth or sixth time المره السادسه هنكتبها in all episodes. هقول له طبعا احنا we remember تمام the chemical activity says تمام اهو we stop here. We have here aluminium and here we have what? We have zinc. Yes, aluminium how come react slower than zinc with hydrochloric acid although aluminium is active. هو فعلا active اهو is more active. aluminium is more active than what? than zinc. yes. اقول له يبقى اكيد في another reason في another factor here. we have another factor here. اقول له due to the formation of aluminium oxide layer. في layer اتكونت طبقة اتكونت aluminium oxide layer that delays أجلت أو أخرت delays the reaction. the what? the reaction زي الصدى كده aluminium oxide layer. يبقى due to the formation of aluminium oxide layer what happens أو the effect of aluminium oxide layer أقول له aluminium oxide layer delays the reaction. This is the first question. Okay, ده give reason number one and I hope you understand how we answer this question according to the chemical activity series. Next question is formation of black substance on heating green copper carbonate. As we have to answer according to the chemical equation. If we remember the chemical equation of thermal decomposition reaction. Why? Because we have heating. أنا مش بقول بمزاجي يبقى we have chemical أو thermal decomposition reaction. So here we have CuS copper carbonate يبقى CuCO3 ده لونه ايه؟ copper carbonate اهو copper carbonate. Its color is what? Is green. لونه أخضر. Okay, by heating. Why? Because we say what? Thermal decomposition reaction. By heating, triangle, form what? We have what here? Copper oxide. يبقى CuO, copper oxide. Its color is what? Is black. And here we have what? Plus yes, S or CO2 as carbon dioxide gas evolves. So we answer here. We can answer by chemical equation. ممكن اجاوب على فكرة كده بالchemical equation. I know this question is give reason. انا عارف ان الquestion قدامنا give reason. We know. but at the same time we can answer by chemical equation but not chemical equation only. مش هجاوب له بالسيمبلز بس، مش بالرموز بس، لازم اكتب له النيمز and the colors. names what and colors if it exists. لو في color موجود واكتبه. طبعا الكربون دايوكسيد colorless as we studied before in primary stage، زي ما خدنا في ابتدائي carbon dioxide colorless gas. Okay, so we can answer by using the chemical equation, and we know now the formation of what? Black copper oxide. Okay, dear students. Okay, here we have a scientific term or another scientific term, a process in which an element displace يعني replace another element in one of its salt solution. We talk about what? We talk about element replaces another element. Here we have element replaces or displace another element. So we talk about substitution reaction, but we have two types of substitution reactions as we have simple substitution reaction and double substitution reaction. So which one of from these reactions we talk about? We talk about here, dear students, we talk about yes, we talk about simple substitution reaction because element replaces another element. أقول له هنا simple substitution reaction. عرفت منين؟ هقول له طبعا قال لي element replaces another element according طبعا replaces according to the chemical activity series. We have here another question as double exchange between the ions of two compounds to give two other new compounds. So here we have key of the answer from these words here, double exchange or exchange between what? Between ions forming two new compounds or forming a new compounds. So we talk about what? Yes, we talk about double substitution reaction. Double substitution reaction. So I hope you can understand the difference between simple substitution reaction in number 3 and double substitution reaction in number 4. Okay? So dear students, here زي ما احنا شايفين كده قدامنا how can we answer any type of question? We can know the steps or one key word inside the scientific term. في بيبقى عندي كلمة واحدة أو more than one statement in the scientific term. Give reason, choose, what happens when. يعني خلي بالنا في كلمة key of the answer مفتاح الإجابة inside the question. If you understand, مش بحفظ, we understand how can we answer the question. لو فهمت هقدر أجاوب. في some students may depend on ان انا to remember just ان انا هحفظ. لا بلاش. We have the answer inside a question, especially in few types of questions. في بعض ال questions بس هنلاقي ان هي ممكن indirect questions, few questions, and also depends on your understanding. Okay, we have here give reason for. عندنا سؤال هنا give reason for. As we see here, silver element doesn't react with diluted hydrochloric acid. طبعا silver doesn't react with diluted hydrochloric acid. As we have here, we write what? Silver Ag. Okay, doesn't react with diluted hydrochloric acid, HCl. So we have as chemical activity series element replace another element. So هنا silver doesn't react with diluted hydrochloric acid. اقول له because what? Because silver is what active? More active or less active? We know here silver less active than what? Than hydrogen, because hydrochloric acid is HCl. يبقى silver is less active than hydrogen in what? يبقى لازم اكتبها له. هقول له silver is less active than what? Hydrogen. In what? In chemical activity. طبعا series. Number 2, formation of silvery material on heating red mercuric oxide. Formation of silvery material on heating red mercuric oxide. We can answer according to what? Yes, we can answer according to the chemical equation. اكتب له كده 2HgO, as we have here what? Red mercuric oxide. On heating, we have here what? On heating. So we have thermal decomposition reaction. We have what? Thermal decomposition reaction. So by heating we have triangle طبعا, as we see here, by heating, forming what? Yes, forming mercury, and mercury has what color? Mercury has silver color. يبقى 2Hg plus O2 as oxygen gas evolve. So we can write what now? We can write the names of these compounds or these substances, as we have red mercuric oxide, forming what? By heating, forming mercury. Mercury is used in thermometer to measure body's temperature. Clinical thermometer, as we studied before in 6th primary. Its color is what? Silver color. Silver what? Color. And what? And oxygen. We can answer also by using the chemical equation. Using what here? Using chemical equation, we can say red mercuric oxide, and this mercuric oxide decompose by heating into what? Into mercury, and mercury only has silver what? Silver color. مش هكتب silver, مش هكتب فضة. Has silver color, لون فضي. Number 3. Here we have oxidation and reduction are two complementary or two concurrent متلازمتين processes in the same chemical reaction. طبعا here we can answer why the oxidation and reduction in question number 3 are two concurrent or complementary processes. هقول له طبعا because أيوة we answered this question before, جاوبناه قبل كده. هقول له طبعا because they yes happen at the same what? Same time. الاتنين حصلوا في نفس الوقت. طبعا oxidation and reduction at the same time, as we have reaction between for example يعني لو خدناها كده example here, as we have H2 hydrogen with copper oxide, and we know hydrogen is more active than copper, So here hydrogen can replace copper. يقدر يخش مكانه. أقول له طبعا. So here we have formation of, yes, H2O plus what? Plus Cu as copper. And here we have equation, or we have a process here takes place here from hydrogen change into what? Water. And at the same time we have here mercuric oxide change into mercury, copper oxide change into copper. هقول له طبعا هنا حصل oxidation, and here we have what? Reduction. As this question, طبعا last two question, what is meant by catalyst? As we have catalyst substance change the speed of chemical reaction, the speed of chemical reaction without being changed, من غير ما هي reaction without being changed. And last question, we have here the speed of chemical reaction is the change in the concentration of the reactants and the products as time passes. We change the concentration of reactants and products as time passes. Okay, dear students, by the end of this question, the last question in this episode, I hope you get more benefits from these questions, and we will complete our syllabus in next week, inshallah. We have a first lesson in unit 2 as we talk about the electric current, and we have to know some physical quantities. We talk about it and we act with them in the electric current. I hope you get more benefits, and I see you soon. Thank you. Goodbye.